This feels like a sleepy ass. Is it just me? Or does it feel sleepy?
It's a little sleepy.
This was a little sleepy, right?
I think we both had...
I think everybody...
Double.
Is everyone in here... Who in here is tired? Raise your hand.
I'm not that tired, actually.
Alright, don't brag about it, bro. Don't rub it in our faces.
Until another white person shows up, that's racism.
Oh my god. Alright, well yeah, that's fine. We're not the racism.
And they
but,
better be tired.
Alright, I'm tired.
But wait, no, don't do that. I need you to use your energetic privilege for good. Don't pretend you're tired when you're not.
No, man, let me pressure you.
What can I do for you?
I may ask you to lift something later. Just know I may ask for a favor.
I'm just trying
You cannot refuse.
Not
As an ally.
Not during your favorite original composition, right?
Well, you lost me.
I said,
What's my favorite?
that can't be the
Suck
favorite.
my dick.
Oh, is that my favorite composition? No, that's y'all's favorite composition. I didn't realize that when I did that, that would be my legacy. It's crazy. I'm getting this feeling more and more. It depends on what I release, right? But I have this feeling it might become the situation where people are like, yo, you know the SMD guy? Yo, he had mad crazy arrangements. He was doing this, that, the other thing. It's like, for real? Yeah, did you know he played piano? It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be. I saw him in Gassenberry or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? What is it? Glassberg, Gassenberry. Oh no!
I thought it was.
Well, anyway, this is a great workshop so far. I think we've learned a lot. Everyone is tired except Nate. Okay, so. We are few, but we are mighty in this room tonight. And to start off this situation, I think Nate had a good suggestion, right? Which is, how can we, I guess I would interpret it as more effectively create chord progressions in the moment, not get stuck. I feel like that's isn't that the classic jam problem?
Yeah.
You get stuck on a chord, and and sometimes you're playing chicken to see who can actually follow what you're doing, if you try to move outside of it. Okay, so yeah, before I have my own ideas, but do y'all have any thoughts about how to approach that? How would you go about that, Nate?
Well, if I knew.
If you knew, you wouldn't be asking. Come top of mind. What do you think?
I mean, there's like little things you can do. Like you can do numbers to like, oh, let's go to the fourth chord.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know, you could just try to play something and see if people follow you.
Yeah, I think that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
To mixed results. But that is an interesting question in general, because a lot of times it's a lost in translation thing, right? Like, at least my strategy, well, honestly, it comes with a level of intimacy in terms of like knowing the people in the room and their backgrounds. Like that helps a lot, right? Like if I'm dealing with someone I know plays a church, I know I can throw up numbers and they're gonna catch it, because that's the culture, right? Yeah, someone who maybe has more classical or rock leanings, I'm gonna say the names. You know what I mean? The note names. You know what I mean? So that's how. So it's like code switching a little bit. So yeah, that's one thing. I think as a collective, who in here is comfortable with like the number system, like 2 5 3 6? Yeah, okay, pretty good. It's cool. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. Honestly, we should go over it. Just hey, it's Nanisha, and she has a different jacket. I like this color. I'm sorry, I know your jacket choices. That's a strange thing.
I like two.
Well, I'm glad we're getting to see the other one. That's nice. I like it. So. Frazier said, scary. I'm just a detail-oriented person, guys. Okay. Don't look at me like that, Olivia. God. All right. So I'm awake. I'm alive. We're talking about music in theory. We're not talking about music theory. We're talking about music in theory. So, okay, here are my concepts. Wait. One more. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else have thoughts? What do you think?
I have a thought. I'm broadly just very like, let's build community oriented. So I feel like let's not be afraid to have conversations about this outside of the jam. I think like the through line I'm seeing, as in some ways I still consider myself a little bit foreign to music. Through line I'm seeing is the people that like that catch on quick are the ones that just know each other. It's not even necessarily about their level of ability. It's they know each other and they know what they know. You know, so like I don't know. I'm not like a professional musicist, but like I've had you call out chords to me in the moment, and I know what you're trying to tell me, and I've had you call out numbers to me, and I know what you're trying to tell me. I think part of it is just like, you know. I feel like it's a good space to build up. Like,
I'll tell you what I struggle with, because it's a fine line for me.
Yeah.
Because depending on my mood on the night, right? Like most of the time, I try to find the middle ground, but I feel constrained often, right? Because even if most of the band is like really at a particular level, but like one person isn't, it can derail the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm still like. It's like the collective knowledge as opposed to the individual knowledge that like determines how far I feel we can push it. I guess the things I do practically to get through that. So one thing is pedal points. That's really useful. Because as long as I know if I can be like, just stay there. Just bass, please. Just stay there, right? Or, you know what I mean? If we know that, I'll use a couple examples. So that's one thing. So if it's a pedal point, what key do you want to play in?
I just hit an E flat.
Okay, E flat. Everyone loves E flat, don't we? I do. E flat's a special key to me. You know what I mean? Like E flat / minor and major. Like anyway. We don't need to get into that.
I think I always say E flat.
Stevie Wonder.
Right on. I do. But it's not even just the black keys. It's just like I almost feel like E flat is the key that like a lot of. It's like the cultural connection key, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of different genres end up using that. Like between the C minor, E flat major, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna see that in church, but you're also gonna see that, you know what I mean? It's just in a lot of different places. You know what I mean? Whereas E, it's like, yo, that's you at a country spot. You know what I mean? Like like automatically, or folk.
And the typical bass can't play that. The typical can't go as low
as
that E flat. So
right, exactly.
You get the keyboard world.
Hey y'all, good to see you. Hey, also you are just shining light. I love the positive energy entering the room. Okay, so anyway, so the first thing of course is there's no coincidences, bro. There are no coincidences. Is that you? Okay, all right, would you mind actually, I'm sorry, I don't mean to mess up your jam session, but can we, I'm about to play some things. So we can turn down the volume on the speaker, yeah. You just on, no, you vibing, no, it's cool. Hey, like, I like this, I feel like we building the Power Rangers right now. It's like, hey, y'all both leadership, you know what I'm saying? You got the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger, you know, that's pretty cool. Tommy was fired. Anyway. Wait, Tommy was the Green Ranger, right?
He was both. He was red, white, and green.
He was red,
white, and green at one point.
Zach was black or something.
Zach was black. Yes, you're right. Zach was black.
Zach was black.
That is important
and he was
to
black.
say.
And he was scared of spiders.
Oh, okay. This is. Yes. All right. Anyway, go. Right. So obviously easy. I mean, you know, and obviously then you can push it, whatever. Right. There's a lot of different options. So I mean, from a harmonic perspective, I think that's an easy way to push. I also think we undervalue Okay, because that's the other interesting thing, which we tend to want to move, but sometimes we don't actually use our full toolkit within a meditative space, right? By using a pedal point, there's actually a lot of things that you have access to, right? Like, in a way, if you really meditating on one note, it's easier, I think, to access the full chromatic scale in a certain respect. You know what I mean? Like a lot of meditative music, because you have that thing that is like reliable, then now you can go outside and come back, you know, and like obviously I feel like a lot of Middle Eastern music uses these techniques, these like going outside, you're stretching, you can stretch because it has that central piece. I'm just gonna go off into my own brain of some thoughts I have about this. I actually think that's also, that to me is the big distinction between gospel and jazz music to me, which is, if you look at most gospel music, there is a central tone that holds the piece together, and gospel musicians tend to like stretch the fuck out of that. Like we're in one key, but it's like how, like they find ways to stretch that one key, whereas jazz is a little more comfortable, you know, constantly like switching key centers and stuff like that. So the focus tends to be different. Like how, like I might even say like jazz music tends to, whatever, within like a traditional bebop, but beyond that, you know, it's like how can we make this melody make the key change centers make sense, right? So it's like a different side of it. Whereas like gospel, a lot of times it's like, okay, we're gonna stay inside, but somehow these things, like we're stretching within that space. But I think that's why, a simple example, even just, you know, at the end of the day, you just keep, like you're reinforcing constantly that we're in this, this feels like this cyclical meditative thing. I think it does something to our bodies and our minds. So we can play on that concept, I guess is the point. So harmonically speaking, why don't we do that just because? I'm just gonna, you lay E flat. That's right, 6th string. That's right, you better use that low string.
Nope, I'm up here.
And let's play a little bit like moving in and out. I would love to see if we had some interaction with it. Do any vocalists feel like interacting with this? 1, 2, 3, no? I might count you. You know what I mean? If you want to, we can get a little sax action. But y'all just let me know. Anyway, let's play with it. Play me something meditative, Frazier. So we're just pedaling, right? So obviously they're easy things, right? I also find something that makes this work really well is returning kind of like a ping pong ball back to that key center, right? Right? Okay, so if I do that, but then I do this. That concept, right? So alright, so let's say see what I'm saying? And so I think that allows us, without having to overly communicate what's happening, create some more harmonic interest, right? It seems like none of y'all want to sing. Is that true? That's fine. Green Ranger, come on. Let me, yeah, you lead.
Let me do the thing I was doing before. It was like
feel like, honestly, we could do that for a while, and it's gonna feel good. And there's actually a lot of space to move, as long as, I almost wonder if maybe, not even maybe, I think a big part of the problem is we get anxious. So it isn't so much how much we're moving, but that we feel like we're supposed to move. I think this happens in solos and shit too. There's a lot of context where like, I'm supposed to be doing more. I'm supposed to be, you know, whatever, faster or more. There's supposed to be more notes, or there's supposed to be more chords or whatever. And that's not true. It just isn't true. So that's one thing, if we feel comfortable. For some reason, Lingus was coming to mind actually while we were playing that. Like, it sounded nothing like Lingus, but I was thinking about how, I think even Lingus is an example of that principle working, because that thing underneath, Snarky Puppy. Lingus, like that, I think that's part of what made it, I mean, because like Corey Henry was just like, he was pushing through, but that thing just kept it just kept us locked in. You know what I'm saying? And it had like rhythmic interest too, and all those other things. But again, so it's like, so that's one thing. It's like, honestly, one of the answers is, one, chill the fuck out. Like, actually, let's just be comfortable being where we are, but then exploring more deeply where we are, as opposed to be like, well, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. Okay, so that's good. That worked out. Okay, so that's one side of it. Then we can put a point on the other side. So I have, you know, I don't want to, I mean, I could go for a while, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to drag it. We could pedal point on the other side. So that's a low pedal point, but then there's the high pedal point. Now that's my favorite, because I can kind of do random bullshit go, you know what I mean? Like, if E flat is the note, now I'm like, oh, okay. So now I can pick, usually what I'll do is I'll pick the chords. Whatever, right? So let me get weird. Whatever. Okay, here's something important I want to point out here. So one of the ways I think we fuck ourselves over is we, in a way, sometimes want to be too exact. So when you were going out, I'm not going to pretend I knew exactly where you were going out. But I knew, sometimes I'll actually think about the key center as a binary. So, you know, what's an easy way to explain this? So you can look at it actually, it's like, it's a cross section, right? So you have the chord tones, so that's like one side of the binary, and then the other side is the extensions, right? Like the stuff that's like slightly outside, but then it's actually a triad, so it's like, so it's the chord tones is the extensions, or the blue notes are the outside notes, right? And the relationship of those three determine like how stable it feels versus how, like, you know, like we tend to like the prettiness of a little lift from the extensions. And then also if you add, because that's another way also to approach chords, right? As opposed to being like, oh, I'm gonna do a G flat, da 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 da. You're like, okay, how about how stable do I want this to feel? And then, or how like out do I want it to feel? Because you can take a normal ass chord. This may not end up sounding good, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Right, so if we're in E flat, right? Okay, so what I'm doing here, if I just play this, that feels stable, right? If I just play this, that feels lifted a little bit. You know what I mean? That's giving, those are the extensions, right? These are the chord tones. These are the extensions, right? For extra coloring. And then I'm adding bye, good to see you. Okay, cool. And then lastly, I added one blue note to give it spice, right? So I use those sparingly. So you can do a lot with that. Like you can, so again, right? But that can kind of anything. And this is what be fucking me up about jazz education, because they'd be like, you can only put the flat nine here. Bullshit. Whatever. Like the flat nine can kind of go on anything. It's just being like understanding the context. So whatever. Like that's weird. But that can be nice. Now, why I want to say that is, specifically when it comes to, if you don't know where we are, it's easy enough for any of us to know whether we're in or out. Like, it's easy enough to be like, I'm sorry, I'm speaking it. I feel confident about this, but I actually think you can feel pretty easily, like, which of those chords are like, okay, we're inside. And what's great about outside is it's a lot like, it's harder to nail the inside than the outside, because the outside you can kind of just like, you can low-key wing it, because realistically it's like tension and release. So if you as the bass player hit something that isn't in the key when we're going out, it might still work, and oftentimes will work if you're confident enough with it. But the confidence is what sells it. So the joke, some bass player, I think his name was Andy. Anyway, he told me this a long time ago. Actually, funnily enough, we were at a Corey Henry concert. He did Corey Henry did a concert at a church. It was when he did that like revival thing. An amazing concert. It was just him on organ and then a drummer. And we were in the audience talking. He was talking about, he's like, oh yeah, I've learned, like, when I play at church, like, you know, the biggest thing is it's about the face. You gotta sell it with the face. It's all about the face. You know what I'm saying? When I really wanna like make them like feel what I'm doing, you just gotta go, and then it was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, hit a random ass note, and if you do it with enough conviction, it low key works. So that's where the musician and the magician have a lot in common. Anyway, I'm gonna go deep into that. But the point is, like, so we can apply that principle in practice. So don't get caught up on like, I don't know what chord they're going to, but do I know whether they're in and out? So let's do that interactively. How about, yeah, let's like call it out. Call it in or call it out. So let's play that groove again. What's good, Clint? Play the groove again, and then let's I'll call, you tell me if it's in or out. And let's see if there's discrepancy here. I think this will be interesting. Just yell. Or say it calmly. Yeah, right now, yeah, it's definitely in. Oh yeah, we can do that. In, out. Yeah, nice. Okay, Nate, honestly, if you don't mind.
What you want me to do?
Just play some, just decide, in or out for now.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you.
Don't tell me, they're gonna tell us if it's in or out.
Okay.
Well, no, you have to play chords so they can tell us if they're in or out. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Wow. In, I agree. Okay. Give us some more. Ooh. Okay. Just make up your mind, whatever you feel. It's like, yeah. No. Oh, well, yeah, what about that one? Yeah, play that again. Play that again. Yeah. In. Woo!
In. On the way.
That's in. That's in.
In.
That's in. You think that's in?
I think it's in.
Oh shit, okay. Please, alright, everybody stop. Yeah. No, this is good. This is good. This is like a social experiment.
In where?
Would you call that last chord in or out?
What was that last word? No, I would say that's out.
That's out. So okay, I think this is really good we're exploring this, because distinguishing in our minds, like
Pretty, though.
things that sound good, in and out is not whether it sounds good or
Yeah,
not,
that's not that.
Okay.
or feels good. It's oh damn, okay, yeah, so this is good, yeah, and it's challenging my my conception too. So I might take for granted how easy it is for me to, you know, from ear training or whatever. But most of the time y'all had it. And honestly, I guess what I'm saying is, the accuracy wasn't that off. So that being the case, oh.
Chord tone, color tone.
Bigger, what? T, what? Slow. Okay, M, A, major. Versus like minor. Well, yeah, I mean, that's one example. Yeah, I can see how it can be slippery. But that's like, what I think is like, when you were doing, there are certain core voicings that are a little crunchier, but they're in. Yeah, and that can be deceptive a little bit, because some of the dissonance comes from that like minor second rub or whatever, right? Like, play those chords again, like you play. Like that's in, but because it has like some of the notes are close, it sounds like it might be out. But here's my point though, right? Practically speaking, we're not going to all what's good, brother? We're not always going to be on the same page or 100% hear everything that's coming our way, and that's okay. So what I'd like to try now is like use your discernment, right? So if we're really listening to each other as a vocalist, for example, like you can, well, honestly, you have a lot of power here because you can kind of decide if it's in or out. You know what I mean? Like, and it won't disrupt the music. If you decide, oh, I want to, this to me feels like we're stretching out, you can stretch out. Or if it feels like we're staying in, you can center us back in, depending on what you want to do. Where it becomes challenging is bass. So I want to see if you can zone in whatever you feel, like if it's in or out, and then, so when we're in, just be on E flat. But when you feel like it's out, now random bullshit go. See if you can play a note that's outside of the key to create some some interest.
All right.
Okay, let's try it again. And Frazier, I don't want you to be too bored, so you know you can mix it up, you know. Low-key, it works for me.
Well, see, that's why the bass has so much power.
Right. It is much to my dismay how, as a keyboardist, it is actually much to my dismay how much power you have in the situation. Because no matter, yeah, fuck you too, bro.
Because he can play still a note that's close to a chord tone.
Yeah.
That makes it sound in.
Yeah. Or vice versa.
Right.
And so and that's, you know, the easiest example is right. Oh, I'm trying to do A minor, but they're like, nah, niggas, this is C. And it's like, well, yep, it's C because the bass player said it's, you know, and that's fine. But ownership as the bassist, that's really important. And trusting yourself to feel like, all right, really am I trying to center this and bring it in or bring it out? And how much is what's surrounding me supporting that idea, right? But out is great because again, like you have so much room, interpretive room, to be on the out on the fringe. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be as exacting. Okay, so that's another idea. So the first idea was let's fucking relax and be comfortable where we're at. The second idea is like, I guess, trusting our intuitive sense about what is in versus out. And of course, you can always go back to the pedal point, no matter what, in or out. If you go back to the pedal point, it's gonna sound cool. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to give us something, you can, as long as you're confident about it. So that's idea number 2. The other thing I want to do is niggas don't do unison enough. The power of unison, right? Cause low key, I be trying to look at bass players and they just can't read my mind, I guess. But I'll just play one, you know. I can even play a melody. Like even if I play like, right? It's inside and choose whatever, almost any progression, and it's gonna work. Or you can say, let me go out, and it'll still work, because there's nothing conflicting harmonically with it. Like the mind is gonna fill in the gaps about like what is this supposed to be based on what you do in response to this melody, right? And so harmony is nice because it reinforces an idea, but when it's absent, you end up having like much more room to play with. That's at least how I interpret it, right? So let's even use that example. So right, so okay, now pick up like long tone in progression. Let's start there, okay? Okay, that sounds good, but now here's what I mean. I mean more like this. So to me, that's just a communication issue. We don't have to always know where each other is going as long as we leave enough room for the right person to take charge. So if you or I think this is the most, like, the harmonic instruments have the most responsibility in this way. Like if we're always, oh, look at all the chords and shit I'm doing here, now we're exerting our ego in a way that isn't always useful to the music, right? Whereas if we just played a fucking line, now the bass player has a lot of space. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's try that concept, but now if you can add one outside note.
Okay.
One tension note, okay?
It's confusing for me when you're doing something different every time. I like
Yes.
all the ideas that you have,
Oh,
but
yeah.
for me to lock into something and like play along with you, if you just repeat something,
Oh yeah.
or very,
I'm just doing the example.
No, yeah.
You go.
Yeah, but no, I hear you.
I think
hear
it's
you.
worth talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
of course.
Yeah, definitely,
I
yeah.
think that's for me like something like spitting. You know what I mean?
It's like spitting, you said?
It's like spitting, but if you got like so many things going, like different things happening at the same time, if you're not going in the right direction, like different sign going off, then you really confused. You lose like your focus.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if there's too many things going on at once,
Yeah.
that's most of it. Actually, I really think that is most of it. Is that too many things are going on at once? I mean, also, because here's the other thing. You're right, but so that's cool because right now you can say that. But if we're in the middle of it and a bass player is just doing whatever the fuck and like, so we have two options in those situations: get mad. This is keep it fucking real. So I don't know how much repressed anger you understand that I hold doing this. Because some nights I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And other nights I'm like, fuck. Like, but my choice is either, the two things I do is, one, I'm either like, all right, I'm stopping everything and it's a teachable moment. And I'm just going to be dad right now. And y'all are going to have to be okay with that. Or, what can I do in this situation? That usually means I simplify. That usually means that if you can't follow him, you can, like, niggas don't like the tonic for some reason. Right? Like, but if you play the tonic or the 1-5, like, you know, and play with that, that's probably gonna work on pretty much anything he does. So let's do that, just for fun. Hi. Wow. A different Red Ranger. Okay, got you. All right, do you know where we are? E flat? Okay, so the idea here is try to play like mostly in and like one out note, right? You got it. All right, and then let's just only use like 1-5 or things that like Just center us again. Center us in the key. Keep us centered, right? All right. You pick something. That was fire, right? I think it's our impulses to overcomplicate again. But so yeah, understanding our relationship, where we fit in the scheme of things, becoming more rhythmically minded, right? Like not trying to push the harmony too much. If someone else is in charge of that right now, we don't have to do that, right? So those are, well, that's a handful of things I think we can do. I don't want to ramble on too much more about this. There's one last thing to the point you were saying about, okay, how can we get more progressions, so we don't get stuck. Now that didn't feel stuck to me, right? So honestly, if we did that for the rest of the night, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like those two ideas, like pedal points, and then leaving enough space harmonically that the bass player can like lead us somewhere. As long as they're primed to understand that's their responsibility to do. I want to add that, like, there's a reason I picked, pentatonic. This is a big, you know what? My two heroes, Wayne Shorter and Stevie Wonder, they abused the fuck out of this idea. They abused the fuck out of this idea. And it's amazing. The melodies tend to be very pentatonic, very simple. A lot of Wayne Shorter songs, these melodies are not crazy, but he stretches the harmony so much. Like there are a lot of songs that are like that. In E flat too, like even like or Goodbye Pork Pie Hat. There's a lot of tunes where it's just like this is just like a blues pentatonic. It's just those notes, right? But then that leaves so much. There's so much different ways you can interpret that harmonically. So yeah, 1/5s. Pentatonic, super simple pentatonic licks is gonna keep us grounded, right? Okay, lastly, just in terms of moving progression. So now I haven't fully fledged out this idea, but I have been thinking about this because I be getting bored sometimes. I be getting tired. But realistically, I was thinking about like, okay, I think there is actually a pecking order of what people are going to hear. So number one to me is melodically moving progressions. So that just means if or scalular. I think that's the easiest way to start accessing some motion, right? If you start jumping, that's where niggas get. You know what I mean? Like, but if it's a whole, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Semitone or a whole tone, whatever. Right. Just anything that's moving along the line, that's the first, right? So most people, I think, can pick up on, okay, we're just going up. We're just going up and we're going inside the scale, right? We're using that understanding of, okay, we're inside, I can hear we're inside, and we're moving up in this way, we'll probably catch it, or catch it fast enough. Same thing with going down, like whatever. Obviously, these two progressions, whatever. Right, or whatever, up or down. We're just moving that way. There's a way I think you can cheat a little bit, like you can do things like this maybe. Like. Right? So it's just like, it's a scale, but it's leading back in. Am I losing anybody here? Because at the moment we start getting abstract, it's okay if, like, tell me the truth. Am I losing it? A little bit. Okay. So the difference I'm saying is like, it's a difference of a line that's going, we're just going up creating chord progression, versus like we're moving, we're leading back into the tonic, leading back into that stable piece. Like it's right next to that, to the key center. Okay, I can see niggas' eyes glazing over, so I'll move on in a second. But it's fine. So the point is, we can move scalarly. I also think, yeah, I love this trick because it's like, nigga, just do chromatic because, you know, like that for me is enjoyable. If you just, you know what I mean? If you know. Oh, wait. Okay, now because I can fill it in, and you can go the same way, right? So those are two options, right? Scalarly, up or down. That's an easy way to start. And honestly, you know, again, it's like, I think of it in terms of what?
What's that word?
Scalarly.
Scalarly?
Scalalulu. So scalarly, up or down. And I think sometimes, again, it's like contextualizing, what does it do to us emotionally? To me, moving up or down, also like, you know, like film scoring, right? Like your body, when you go up, it feels like you're going up. It feels like you're ascending somewhere. So if we want the music to feel like it's, right? But if we want it to feel more like we getting down, like I do be thinking like that, like okay, up or down. But yeah, so scalar, chromatic. Those are easy things to access. After that, it's at your own risk. So like honestly, okay, go ahead.
Do you think that we could have a symbol for people, like if you're moving up chromatically versus moving up in a different way? Would that be helpful in a group?
Well, yes, it would. I've been grappling with this a long time because, you know, like literally I have an entire unutilized hand gesture system that because I got really into to sign language and I thought it was ridiculous that we don't utilize that more. Like we have common ones that we use, right? Obviously, and like there's things we like, and everyone understands this, whatever, you know what I mean? But like there's like way more you can do, but you come up with the problem. It's like, okay, this would be great now, but then a nigga comes who's like random. It's a jam session. So then, you know, if they don't know your language, they don't know your language. So it's good. I think it's good if more of us start, like I'm happy to start doing that. But I'm always trying to think, but what can how can I actually communicate this to somebody who does not speak my language, right? And that's where, again, we're getting to like some people's like the number system works, some people letter names work. It just depends on who, and some people they have to hear it and that's it. You know what I mean? So that's like part of the thing that's the question I will leave. Please, actually there's no way to reach me. I was gonna end this and say there's like, I'm not on Instagram anymore.
Patreon.
When are you doing that?
They can
I'm not.
Really?
No.
Just have them.
Let me end this by saying,
What's your email?
have we learned, guys?
Yeah.
I thought this was very constructive. So let's just make some fucking music with these ideas that we've extrapolated here. And what I love about these ideas is then it's less bound by someone's how advanced they are. It's more about the communication of these principles than it is like, oh, does everyone have the best ear? It's just like the reality is everyone does not. So, you know what I'm saying? So you have to figure out a way to like communicate meaningfully, you know, when that is not the case. So moving on from here, important thing to say, yeah, I'm not on Instagram and I don't think I'm coming back, y'all, because that shit, I've said this a couple times and I'll just say this, like literally it felt like in a prison movie, you know, where like the one dude is like sweeping the prison yard and the guard accidentally leaves the gate open and you think to yourself, is this it? Is this my opportunity to be free? That's what this feels like. Like every day later, I'm like, do I want to come back? And then my body's like, no, this was contributing nothing to your life. It actually was contributing very little to your life. So what I've decided is, if you really fuck with me, you either have my phone number or you can go on the Patreon and we can talk about these as a community. Period. And you can get on the Patreon for free, but I'm not gonna like beg for niggas' attention anymore.
Hey, what's your email?
That's too personal, honestly. That feels like, nigga, no, man. No. I'm not giving niggas my email.
I'm trying to email
That's
you,
crazy.
dog.
You trying to email
I'm
me?
trying to email
Yeah,
you.
no. Anyone I really need to talk to probably has my number. And if like, cause we be using. Look, let's play music. But look, we be using Instagram as like this soft, like, oh well, is it? I don't know. I don't know if they'll. Like, should I ask for their number? But I can get an Instagram. Like, nigga, either ask for the fucking number or don't talk to each other. Like, that's where I'm at as a person now. I'm like, either I'm gonna say like, either we feel comfortable enough to like take the risk of knowing each other's number or fuck off. Like, it's like that. Anyway, all power to the people. The point is, if you want to reach me, please join the Patreon for free. If you haven't already done it, join the Patreon. It is free. I'm gonna start putting the free content I would have put on Instagram on Patreon and try to cultivate a community there. And and because it's also a platform that supports me by paying me as opposed to Instagram, which exploits us. If you want to know events and stuff, the Resonator Arts page is still gonna be on Instagram. People can still find out what's happening. But other than that, if you want to reach me, nigga, like, call me. For gravity. I want you to know how serious I am. You better call me if you need to reach me. Anyway, all right. So let's make music, y'all. Yeah. Any other important notes, Olivia? Anything else I'm forgetting to say? No, I think I said it all. All right. Are we ready to jam? Okay, let's do it. All right, so you know the drill. We're gonna start just Frazier and me. Is that okay? Frazier? Oui. And then let's build on that. It's a sleepy ass Saturday. I didn't help either, I think. Let's talk about esoteric.
Out notes and in.
Yeah. What is in? What is out?
There's no wrong. All right.
What key you want to play in, bro? What key is your drum tune to? Yeah. I think that's F sharp neutral, but.
F sharp neutral.
Let's try that.
Let's try that.
I'm lost on any of the music theory.
E flat. C flat. Nice.
Wow, look at that.
Nice.
Crazy.
All right.
My influence.
You greatness.
Ladies and gentlemen, how we feeling? Feeling alright? Glad to hear it. For the uninitiated, this is a jam called Saturday. I'm your host, my name is Alvin. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. This is an all improvised open jam session. Come one, come all, get involved. Rappers, singers, instrumentalists, poets, dancers, aqua aerobics. Anything and everything, as is admissible by law, and is in the spirit of the thing in which we are creating in the present moment. So if you are involved, interested in getting involved rather, come speak to me, and I will put you in the queue, usher you into the right moment in the experience. And what else is there to say? Can we give a big hand clap to David Frazier Jr. on the drums, the house drummer for tonight. Mr. Bro, glad you're here. Also want to give a big shout out to the opening jam compatriots. We got Nate on the guitar. We also have Yedoye on the bass. Yeah. I liked that. I like that a lot, actually. But yeah, I don't want to hog it. If there are are there any singers in the house? If you raise your hand, it doesn't mean I'm gonna. I already know about y'all. Any other vocalists, rappers, singers in the building? No. I feel like you do something. I don't know why. It was the way you deliberately averted your eyes that made me feel like you do something. Yeah. No pressure. But if you feel the need, please come see me. I want you to be a part of this experience. Thank